Okay, so here we are in the back end of the course, and we're having a look at all the things you'll get when you sign up. So all the different modules, all the different bonuses, primary bumper pack, extra fire and pedagogy using tools, and all the modules, as you can see. So we're going to take a look in a minute in one of the modules. So here we go. We're going into module 3, early summer. So this is the summer, early summer. You have early summer and late summer. And here you can see all the different kinds of videos that you might have and how they will link to the curriculum. So you've got masterclasses as well, and this one focuses on nature sensory stimulation, session plans on birds and nests, and journey of the worm, summer treasures, summer leaves, all downloadable. So let's go into one of those videos, and this is the nature centric model. So we always link it to the wheel and what's happening at that time of year, and of course you also get access to the video of that. So these are all videos on the left hand side that you can see. Another example is, for example, making a daisy balm, and we might use different plants, and of course this is all linked to risk benefit assessment and so on. So you've got me showing you how to do that. Yes, I'm in a woodland, but you can do that in any setting. You can even have a little gas burner if that's what you have in your school. That's also possible. So now we're going to have a look at Masterclasses. This is one of how nature stimulates sensory development and integrations. This is one of the 16 Masterclasses, nature and our senses. So I go into that and we talk about the value of the senses. Lesson 2 looks at the nervous system and sensory development. And then lesson 3, deeper into our senses. So that's one part of one masterclass. And now we can have a look, and we can look at an example session plan. This is going to be focused this time on early years, but as we said, we do Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. So this is an in-depth look at, we look at all the questions, the vocabulary, we give examples of how you might play games, but of course this links to the videos, and then linking it to the curriculum areas such as communication and language, literacy, all the areas. And yes, it's early years, but of course a lot of these ideas can be used across the different ages. So that's really important. And then we also have series of topics. This one is the American road trip, and with a year 5 focus, and it looks again at learning and development, some timetable ideas, again linking to all the videos, and a whole series of downloadable materials that you can draw on, so it's ready to go, so you don't have to do any research. And as I've said, everything gets followed up with a risk benefit assessment. Of course, you have to adapt it, make it relevant, but it really helps to have a kind of draft copy that you can lean into as necessary. So yeah, just going to quickly get out of here and go back up to look at the whole course. So here, let me just navigate that. Right, yeah, so we're just going back, and that's back to the early summer module 3, and then now of course there's all the other modules that we've talked about, and back to all the other content that, and let me look at the fire and pedagogy that you're getting as part of the bonus. So it goes through all the videos again of what you get and the different ways of doing that. Key safety considerations, for example. Again, there's a video around that, and I go carefully into how you do that with safety and showing all the equipment you need and all the different ways you can do it, and thinking also about pedagogy. Of course, I give you an example of how we might do this with the very little ones using a nest fire, but you don't have to do that. There are many ways that you might begin and then grow into, and a little video of young people and how I set that up for myself. Again, I like to start with the early years because then you build on it. So that's looking at that. Hang on, now I'm going back and I'm going to have a quick look at the boundaries, because I know it's important to think about boundaries and the outdoors from moving from a very structured, controlled environment indoors to outdoors. So I go through lots of the course routines and boundaries, and hopefully give you a good way of creating safety, whether that's in a playground or in a wilder wood. Lots of people, rightly so, worry about creating a space. So we go through some certain classic games that are quite fun and create routines, because that's what we want. We do want routines. It's a myth that there aren't routines outside. Of course there are. There's kind of containers and structures, and we might play some games that that relate to sounds and that are able to call back young people. So finally, I'm just going to have a look at another one of the things that will come with it. All the primary bumper packs, loads of information. We give really kind of summarize it, make it easy to access on how different areas link to the curriculum and how you might do that in your own way. We don't want to be totally prescriptive. We want it to be adaptive, so you can apply it to your own sessions, and just to really give some inspiration, really, to make it really straightforward and easy to use. That is the aim there. Okay, back to the other bonus. You're getting the spring themed early years, but remember, every module has early years and Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. This is an example of what songs you might get, session plans you might get, spring creatures, water, think about water, beautiful bees, lots of woodland games, and again, risk assessments that link back to that. So this is all in the package. Okay,